started loving this jack stand more and more every day. Basically went ahead and used it to lift up this so we don't actually have to take the time to unhook it. Very handy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some blocks underneath the feet so it just supports it in case it was to sink down a little bit. But we've left it up for weeks and it didn't go down a bit, so I think it'll be okay. But check this out. Just rolled up on site for a junk removal job that I looked at yesterday, and it comes in stages. So I'll slowly go through everything in the video of how we actually price this out. But this is a massive project, and so I did it in stages. I did flat rate pricing. That way it gives me a little bit of leeway. It gives the customer a flat, fee, which they can rely on not getting screwed hourly. And hopefully I don't shoot myself in the foot doing it. Obviously there's a risk of doing it that way if we run into issues. But basically this is going, this fence is going, some of this brush over here is going, and then there's a pile out here that's already started from the demo inside. That's going. Then over here we're actually going to tear out that fence. Rather than do this by hand, we brought the Mini. So we just got a little bit. The first step is cleaning out this yard. We're just going to clean up the yard, get it nice and ready to go for them, and then after that we're going to roll into the inside. The owner doesn't even live here, so they're actually sending us keys so that we can go inside and then do floor by floor. And I quoted out each floor what we would charge, and what services we would provide. So we'll get into those maybe in future videos or later in this video. We'll see where this all plays out. All right, here we go.
So not that side of the fence?
Now we're doing the hard part, picking up a little bit of the stuff by hand. Obviously the Mini's overkill here, right? Crunching all this up, it kind of makes a mess. But the cool thing about having it here is as it gets into the dumpster, we can literally just chop it all up and save a whole bunch of room. Kind of like those smasher trash machines you kind of see that go around that every dumpster guy absolutely hates because it destroys their dumpsters. But we can use the claw, put it in there, chop it up, basically fit everything we have on this property, at least on the exterior, inside of that dumpster without making extra trips for literally no reason. so since we divided this up, I definitely bid this a little low. And I know it is. I know I'm working way too hard for what I'm paying, or what I'm going to be paid for this, but I know overall it'll pay off. But let me show you what I'm going to do here to kind of just save some money. I'm going to pick this up right here with the bucket, and then I'm going to have Keegan saw this off. We're going to get rid of this piece right here for free. We'll put this in a scrap metal pile. We'll either get rid of all the scrap metal we get out of here, or we'll literally just put, you know, a post on Facebook, and somebody who scraps will just come and pick all this stuff up for free. All the trees we're going to separate into a separate section, and on the day that we go out to the shop, we're going to take them out, burn them. Again, all this metal pulled over there. I'm basically recycling everything I possibly can, either whether that's wood and or if it's metal, and only trash is going to the dumpster so we can save as much room as possible, save as much money as possible. Considering, again, I sectioned this job out, it's probably going to be like a 2-load job in a way, one for the recycling, one for the trash, but we'll have to make maybe 2 trips for it. But in the long run, it saves me in fuel because I'm not making 3 trips to the landfill to get rid of everything, and the dump fees, because just those concrete blocks, if I put 20 of those inside of a, you know, dumpster, it's going to weigh quite a bit. I want this part of the fence gone, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to make a quick couple cuts here rather than taking the time to unbolt it. That way we can basically just pull the fence away and not have to worry about damaging this side of the fence, which they want to keep that separation. All right, so any additional bit of this should basically just snap and pull this ring straight as Keegan pulls the fence out that way. There we go, separating. Trying to mine this tree as best we can. All right, there we go. Easy. 2 down, 2 to go. Or actually really just 1. For the excavator to tilt the front like that, just like swing in this way, is incredible. It makes fitting in these tighter places just that much easier so you don't have to swing your back end into more dangerous territory. Woo! A little unbalanced. Go ahead and put your blade down a little bit. It's in the back. There we go. Last one. No issues. Got some bricks in there. That's crazy. What if that was an old walkway? There's bricks literally all throughout this town. It's insane. Alright, so now we're cleaning up the landscape area, digging out just ridiculous amounts of trash with these bad boys. Fence out there is gone. We'll do a little bit of grading of the yard, nothing crazy because I'm sure this will be all torn up later. We need to go get the trash on that side of the property, and we'll probably push some dirt back into some of these potholes. That way it just makes it easier for later. It's just full of piddly crap. This is the stuff that just drives me nuts about places that don't take care. Like the people who previously owned it just didn't care, the renters. And there's definitely, I've seen several of these needle caps, so we know there's probably something in here. So what we'll do is we'll pick up the bulky items as carefully as we can, drag them towards the dumpster, and we'll use the shovels to pick up everything else. That fence line too, getting this all nice and clean so it looks good from the front. All right, we're gonna push this metal out of the way for now, get it out of the way, move this brush out here for a little bit. We'll move that to the back at the very last step. What we're gonna do now is get it over here, pick up these mattresses because we're not touching them, and start tearing down that fence on the other side of the dumpster. Need a nice even load. That's what she said. Oh, that has a stench I cannot even explain. Oh my Lord. Down, sir. OSHA approved. Thank you. The eagle has landed. Let's do it. Knock that down. Oh wow, that took a lot of effort. Woo! Scoot those mattresses to the side. We'll do those last. Yeah, you might want to barricade yourself from the dust. We will find how many of you are freaking out. I know some of you girls are scared of the snakes. But here in the Midwest, you find these gardeners everywhere. Woo! I like them, but not that much. Alright, we're gonna let him go before he gets crushed. Go torture the other crackheads. We're gonna start with the brush. We're gonna drag this out as much as we can, watching these very low power lines. Probably drag out that TV case. There's not even a screen in it or a tub. It's literally just the plastic, so not sure why it's still there, but drag this all out, then we'll basically collapse this. Folded. Perfect. Now we gotta clean it up. All right, so we got a dozen tires, metal pile, brush pile, and the rest of the trash. We've almost got what that little large dog shed or whatever you want to call it cleared out, all the junk pulled away from here. We'll throw the mattresses on last, strap it down, then tarp it, and I think we'll be on the road soon. Keegan's driving off into the sunset, and what we got here left, we've got, oops, ooh, how did I do that? Got a pile here. We still got to take out that fence there. This is all scrap metal with a lot of vines in it. I'll see if they'll maybe let me do shred for that. Then we got tires. So basically my last load out of here, we're gonna load up wood to burn. We're gonna throw tires on top of it because I have a plan to actually be able to slice these, and then if they're in so many sections, I actually can throw them in normal dumpster loads. Then I've got a little bit of hard fill here, and I have those big pieces of hard fill from the actual posts that we'll also throw in to one dumpster. We'll sort it all at the shop. That way we can then get those taken care of as well. I can literally just put on Facebook hard fill, and then we can burn that. The metal will go in a separate load, and we'll figure out how to slice that all up. Way underbid it. That's all there is to it. Although I will say we knocked all of this out in about 5 hours. So the machine seemed to be overkill, except for it definitely kept us down to one trash load, which could have been 3 if we didn't have it. And I made getting rid of the fence a no-brainer. So it is what it is. It's done. Well, almost done. I'll come back tomorrow to do the cleanup work. But yeah, I might have to talk to her about the rest of the parts of the bid for all the interior. We'll see. We'll see. You know, continued work is continued work. So I might just have to bite the bullet on this one. Today I'm going to be loading this on the street, and somebody's just going to absolutely try to freaking send it. I mean, I would if I was like 16 again. It's Easter Sunday. Been hanging out with my family. I've had somebody try to beg me to do a junk removal job, or at least scheduled to come see it. I've had 4 people call me for equipment rentals, which is okay. I don't mind them. The conversation talking into the next week is kind of weird that they're calling me today, but you know, I get it. When you have a business, you can just kind of expect people are going to reach out to you at their earliest convenience. And if I'm being honest, I didn't say I was closed today either. You know, my hours do have hours on Sunday, so I'll take a phone call. But this one got me. We have a dumpster fire. You literally saved my days, a dumpster fire, but apparently I literally had a dumpster rented that caught on fire. Fire department was called and everything. So I broke away from the family for a little bit so I could just kind of assess the situation, so I could be prepared for tomorrow, how I'm going to handle it, how I'm going to organize my dumpsters to be picked up, because this one might not get picked up right away. Let's see.
It didn't burn these people out of nobody's house.
Yeah.
We was just glad that the fire didn't get.
Oh, that was funny. Just walked into their backyard. I didn't videotape, obviously, or at least not a lot, but everybody was sweating bullets like, oh no. And this was hardly anything. It turns out they must have dumped all the ash on top of the trash, so the trash just burned. I mean, it just truly burned right on the top. And you can see where a little discoloration came through. So I'll take a look at it, see what we can do. But it wasn't one of those where, you know, the whole side of the dumpsters, you know, completely burned through. Contrary to what a lot of guys realize is, like, you don't think you can hurt a dumpster by it catching on fire, but yeah, you can continue to use it. But when you heat metal up like that at such an extreme temperature, and then have it put out with gallons and gallons and gallons of water and super cool it, you'll have metal truly shrink up, and welds will pop, doors won't fit. Besides the fact that the stickers typically all peel off, you have to have the dumpsters repainted, recoated. So this is definitely one of those neighbors, toss their ashes or something into the dumpster. The dumpster caught on fire. It sounds like it's kind of a really embarrassing situation between the neighbors, but it sounds like it's gonna be okay. My dumpster, yeah, it's a little burned in one or two spots. It's not terrible. I'll drop the pictures, but we'll empty it and see, because I don't want to tell them, oh, you're off the hook, and I pour everything out and the entire floor is heated through to the point that it's practically ruined or needs to be replaced. But I've seen some dudes have some gnarly dumpster fires, and then they have the dumpsters out the next day. So we'll see how we'll handle this situation, but I'm not too worried. I was just glad to hear that nothing else caught on fire. We don't have to involve everybody's insurance company, at least right off the bat. But I did hear it got very close to the neighbor's garage because the flames were up into the power lines. So the situation could have gone drastically worse, but it sounds like there were two hoses on it, buckets were being tossed on it, and the fire department, I guess it took like 10 minutes to get there, but once they got there, done, easy. But yeah, it smelled like a dumpster fire, I'll say that. One less problem to worry about tomorrow.